Hi, my name is Kate Sweeney, and Professor Umbach invited me here to speak to you a little bit about why it's so important to be an effective writer, to be a good leader and a good officer in the military. First, a little bit about me. I spent 13 years in the Army as a joint intelligence soldier, working everywhere from Bosnia to Japan to China to India, as well as NSA headquarters in Maryland. I was not an officer. I left my career after 13 years as a Sergeant First Class, but I did work extremely closely with officers throughout my career. From the very beginning of my career, working with that second lieutenant straight out of OCS, all the way to the culmination of my career, working with General Keith B. Alexander, head of NSA. What matters is that whether you're seasoned, whether you're new, whether you're officer or enlisted, essentially the ability to be a good officer hinges on two things: taking care of your people and accomplishing the mission. The missions can vary. A very simple company FTX exercise is one kind. A very complicated, complex, multinational, multi-joint force exercise is a different kind. Same with taking care of your people. It can be as simple as an Article 15 for somebody who doesn't show up to PT on time a few times in a row, to something complicated, like making sure that a deserving soldier gets a Purple Heart for their wounds sustained in Afghanistan or Iraq. Without an officer who writes effectively enough to get the proper op order out for that field training exercise, or to get those plans in place for that really complicated, multitask, multinational exercise, those exercises would fail. Without an officer to write really good Article 15s that stand up under the letter of the law, or conversely, a really good recommendation for a soldier who deserves a Purple Heart, those soldiers would not get the discipline or the recognition that they deserve, and that officer would not be doing his or her job. That's why writing is so important. Every evaluation report, every recommendation to promote somebody, every time you have to recommend somebody for a medal or recommend somebody for a school, it's important to write the recommendation well enough to get that soldier what they deserve. Without the ability to do so, your ability to be an effective officer is severely diminished. I've seen both in my career. I've seen officers who left after 4 years because they weren't effective in their job, because they couldn't get what they wanted done accomplished. And I saw officers who flourished. That young second lieutenant I met back in language school is now a full bird colonel out in the sandbox taking care of his troops in Afghanistan. He was an amazing writer and is an even more amazing officer and continues to be so. That's what I wish for you, to follow in his footsteps, to be an amazing officer and also to be an amazing writer. The two are part and parcel of being great leaders in the military and beyond. Take advantage of the resources at hand at John Jay, Professor Umbach being definitely one of them, and I wish you lots of luck in your career, and thank you for your service.